Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering, jumping right in with a second turn Cascade. This is going to be for Valky, who can actually be Tibalt. And it will. So Matt on Cascade. Looks like, actually, we're a couple of turns in here. So far, we've seen a Rift Bolt and an Eidolon from Jordan. However, Matt able to get down a Valky Cascade prior to the rules change. So this actually does become a huge Planeswalker. And going to go ahead and leave that Eidolon on board for now, as Shardless Agent can easily trade with it. And the loyalty is everything here. If this can get out of burn range altogether, I mean, it's going to generate significant card advantage. And, well, Matt actually opting to get rid of this Eidolon. Perhaps he's got another Cascade ready to go. All right, Oko. Price of Progress going to dome Matt for 6 here. That is pretty substantial chunk of damage. So he's going to force a will. All right, he's got the force. Not going to find a better target when you're playing against burn. Price of Progress has the biggest upside out of everything in the deck for the most part. The only other things to consider are those early drops. So certainly if somebody has a turn 1 Goblin Guide, that can represent more than 6 damage. But as far as just one-time use burn spells, Price of Progress has ridiculous potential upside. And Fire Blast is a distant second. Of course, you're all in on a Fire Blast. I can't quite make out Matt's life total. Oh, let me see if I can... No, that's not part of my overlay here. This is actually done live, so I can't remove that, Matt, just to take a peek underneath what Cascade says there. But food starting to arrive, and that's going to be able to push Matt's life total out of range of any potential burn. Price of Progress, not a card that he's going to be happy to cast, but he's happy to get it out of the way, so Jordan's not drawing it. I guess you take it. Probably the best thing that he can be drawing is something like a Lightning Bolt. And Matt actually going to cash in 2 of those lands now to eat a food. A Lightning Bolt to the face here, and another Lightning Bolt. And with City of Brass and Mana Confluence, this other food token not going to be super good at gaining life. Looks like another food. And Fire Blast being fired off. Is this going to be lethal? I don't know what that white token represents. Probably a land from Jordan. Yeah, probably a land from Jordan's deck. That makes sense. So 2 life gained. And Matt is still hanging on. Jordan at this point going to be out of hope with no lands in play, facing down a Tibalt and an Oko. And just outrageously high loyalty. I mean, my goodness. 10 and 12 loyalty, that is just an absurd amount of loyalty for a Planeswalker to have. And at this point, probably not incorrect to go ahead and mark this as a win. Let's see how much longer Jordan hangs in there, but there's something to be said for kind of making the, well, twofold, right? You've got making the game take longer, so you have a smaller window in which to win in games 2 and 3. Simeon Spirit Guide. The ape beats have arrived, prompting Jordan to lose his glasses. The other side of that also is this was a entirely new deck. I'm certain it was the first time. Is this the first time it's been on camera? It might be. I mean, there's almost no way Jordan had a chance to play against this before. This was like a brand new deck when this was filmed. So as much information as he can get based off of all of these cards, he's going to have to piece this together on the fly in terms of how best to interact with it. Even just assessing like how much burn to throw at the Tibalt. And everything's getting exiled. And that is going to be a lethal flurry of burn. Good lord. Yeah, you get 3 red, right? Just coincidentally. So that's going to be just an absolute ton of burn to the face. Lightning bolts, lava spikes, and ultimately a fire blast. So Matt gets to play burn for this game. Jordan will hope to prevent that for the next 2 if he can manage. And everything turning sideways for that lethal damage. Oh, Tibalt, we barely knew ye. It looks like the Gatherer is down right now. I just wanted to confirm that it's actually 3 red. And it is. Little Black Lotus action on top of like a double Yawgmoth's Will. It's a pretty powerful finishing blow for a Planeswalker as far as ultimates go. Alright, game 2. Matt's got the Gemstone Caverns. Something he had ordered and had not received from the shop yet, so making the exception for him to proxy it, as the Postal Service has been a bit of a mess. Everyone's doing their best here in the pandemic, but want to make sure people can actually play with the cards that they've purchased from the store. So we are making that exception. A City of Brass. And we have Ardent Plea finding Tibalt right off the top. So far, just a Chain Lightning to the face, and Grim Lava Man, actually a pretty decent pull. That's going to be both castable and disruptive against burn. Eidolon of the Great Revels. And that is immediately taken down a notch by Tibalt himself. Acting as a... Oh, and Euro. What are we even doing here? This deck could have been very interesting. Euro, Oko, Cascading, Tibalt. I mean, it's a really interesting deck. Just not going to be sticking around. We may see it a little bit more on camera. But all of this burn being flung at Matt. He's actually going to force a will one of them, which is a little surprising. Fire Blast. Oh, flung at Tibalt. I'm sorry. Flung at Tibalt. So, one more mana. Oh, Ardent Plea just coming right back into it. That is brutal. Simeon Spirit Guide. Triggering memories of last game. And there is another Valky, which means another Tibalt. And Goblin Guide taken down. Lava Spike. Oh, I think that actually could kill a Planeswalker. I wonder if Jordan knew that. I'm going to assume not. Yeah, the Ultimate Masters printing has been updated with the current Oracle text of target player or Planeswalker. Jordan has the more stylish Champions of Kamigawa ones. But I think that was probably a missed opportunity there. Awesome to see Jordan actually jumping into Legacy. Checking out the tournament scene, though. This is likely going to be a losing effort with double Planeswalkers here. And mercifully a deck that he will not be contending with any further, as this was quickly pushed out of the environment. I'm really curious how good this deck would have ultimately been. Able to run 12 free Force of Wills, Force of Will, Force of Negation, and Misdirection. Having Oko and Euro, along with this Cascade package to ride out this Tibalt for incredible card advantage and board control. I mean, it's a pretty wild deck. Probably really difficult to play over webcam, given that you're not actually able to take your opponent's cards. So that gets a little complicated. That's like my little remarkable tokens would be very useful for that. I really do need to get those on the website. Yeah, there's some damage being thrown at Matt, but I don't believe this is going to ultimately end up amounting to anything super threatening to his life total. He's got Oko to be able to make food. He's got Euro, which can come back and gain some life. I mean, it's kind of mana neutral. Actually, he'll gain a life by getting Euro back. Or he can just ride out this food situation. He does have some basic mountains that can sacrifice it. And life gain to stop that lightning bolt. Just 2 cards left in hand for Jordan. And now everything getting exiled. Matt getting 3 red mana, and that should actually be enough just with the burn, as we've got a Fistful of Bolts and a Fire Blast along with Jordan's Mountains. As, I mean, this Turbo Tibalt deck, I mean, we barely got to see it in the meta, but I am glad we got some of this documented, because this deck was absolutely wild. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Tibalt Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.